Hey everyone, I'm here to give you my good snack. It's called a protein pudding by Jay Baller. It's what I do before bed. It's my last meal. It's kind of more off-season oriented, but you could adjust your macros according to how whatever your diet needs are. But for the ingredients, we do 1 scoop of Get Raw Nutrition chocolate. We do 1 scoop of Get Raw Nutrition vegan protein, vanilla. I'll get into why we use the vegan in a second. And then 1 scoop of the peanut butter whey isolate. And another ingredient here to make it thicker and nice is creamer. It can be any kind of creamer. This is just the stuff my wife buys for her coffee and I steal it out of her fridge. But this one's pretty cool. It's a hazelnut flavor. I find it has a good taste. The vanilla is also good, but any just non-flavored is good as well. The key is heavy cream though. We have our peanut butter, all natural peanut butter. Ingredient number 5. 1 banana, and then we have sugar-free whipped cream. Now, you can get this at Walmart. It's very hard to find, but Walmart has it. It's the only place I found it. So, if you go to Walmart, stock up on it. So, the first part is we're going to add all of our protein into, I forgot to mention, we have a little, I recommend using a little container. Don't use a big bowl here, because it's kind of like everything a little bit more compact. And then I like a little spoon. I like a big spoon for everything else, but this, I find a little spoon works much better. So we do 1 scoop of protein in each one, put each one into the container. So this is going to yield you 70 grams of protein per meal for this one. So adjust it accordingly. I'm a 275 pound guy, so that's why I do that much. But this is the vegan. Now the reason why we're adding the vegan in there instead of another whey isolate flavor is because the consistency is much thicker. So when you end up go through our step, we're gonna end up making it. You get a much thicker consistency, so it's gonna come out like a nice, thick, rich pudding, which is kind of what we want. I find if you just use the whey isolate, it's a little too watered down, even with the heavy cream. And I forgot to add, you don't have to use heavy cream. You could use almond milk or you could use water. I have a preference for this because it makes it thicker and it kind of tastes good. And this is my off-season meal, so I'm trying to get calories up, so it's a good way to add some saturated fat. All right, so step 2 is adding the creamer into the container. Now this is the tricky part. You don't want to do too much, you don't want to do too little. So I'll do a little bit like that. It's kind of trial and error. And then what I do here, the key is I mix in the corner. So I just start mixing it up in a corner here until I get it nice and moved around. See, now we're getting all the creamer mixed into the powder there. And I don't like to do it all at once. I find that when you just do the corner, it kind of consolidates it better. And then you move the rest of the dry stuff into that same corner. So I always like to start with a little bit less creamer to begin with. Make sure it doesn't do too much, or you end up with kind of like a soup. So this is what we would call the flip technique. And I've been mastering this for a couple months now. Now you flip it to the other corner and you start working that in. It's kind of a little work, but it's worth it. Alright, so we need a little bit more creamer in there to mix up the powder. So we'll just do like a little splash over here, and that should be good. I might have done a little bit too much, but I got a remedy for that. So this is what's going to make or break it. You got to really get it all mushed around in there and all consistency nice and thick. I like mine a little thicker than probably most. Makes it feel like you're eating more of a meal versus a shake, and I find it like a good alternative to like ice cream before bed. Okay, so now we got everything all kind of mixed up. Good, I'll make sure there's no big gobs in there. All right, so now you see how nice and thick that is? That's what we want, nice and thick. Now it's gonna get a little thicker too because we're about to add our peanut butter. And this is the next step. So I kind of just use a big spoon gob. I'm not really counting calories too heavily right now. But it's usually gonna be around about 40 grams, that is. So what that yields is that's like 24 grams of fat. And then now we're gonna mix again. I like to get it all mixed in there so you get a good peanut butter consistency throughout. And what that does is it also thickens it up. So now you can see, now we're working on some nice thick mud here. Alright. Yeah, see how thick that is? That's like a nice thick paste. That's what we want. It's perfect. Okay, now kind of level it out. Kind of like cement, right? Now this is the next step. This is where banana comes into play. What I like to do is I like to get nice slices over the whole top of it. That way I get a nice, I always cut the ends off too. Ends kind of freaked me out. I saw a video with spiders getting trapped in there when I was a kid, so I'll never eat the ends of banana. And then I kind of just do this. No need for a cutting board, using extra dishes, they need a wash. If you're bodybuilding, you're doing enough dishes as it is. So I try to make everything real simple. Now the reason for the banana is A, it adds good flavor. B, it's a fructose-based carb because it's fruit. And what fructose does is it replenishes your liver glycogen. So it's gonna help you sleep better at night. So like, you know, when you're dieting real hard and you don't have a lot of carbs, and you'd have a hard time sleeping, that's because your body's hungry because it's empty of glycogen. Now this is our last ingredient. It's whipped cream, sugar-free. So you're getting 2 grams of fat per 6 grams. I don't even measure it. What I do here is I just go a nice little layer over the whole top. Boom. And then our last ingredient I forgot. A little bit of cinnamon here. So then we're going to sprinkle the top, a little bit of cinnamon, and there you go. Protein pudding by Baller. Now, if you're patient, which I'm going to do right now because I'm not going to sleep right now, I'm going to put it in the freezer, and then I'm going to let it cool off, and then it's much better that way. But either way, it's good. If you have the time to make it beforehand, put it in the freezer for like 20-30 minutes, and it's going to come out like ice cream. You're going to love it. You're welcome. Enjoy. I forgot to add, so the macros for this meal with all the portions I used, you're looking at about 80 grams of protein, 35 grams of fat, and about 30 grams of carbs. So adjust it accordingly, but this is a good meal before bed because you got some nice protein that's easy to digest, that's not gonna weigh you down when you're sleeping. You have some quality fats to slow down the absorption through the night, and then you have banana to load your liver with glycogen so you sleep through the night and rest and get those gains. Enjoy.